Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio, so today I am showing you some very exciting news. All about how we qualify for the World Championships next season, and where all the regional championships are going to be held. So I thought this was the kind of thing we needed a video about. So first of all, the international championships. These are the big ones. There are 4 of them. The first one will be in Europe. It will be in the UK between the 17th and 19th of November. We have not had a city announced for this, but it was in London last year, and the European Pokémon offices are in London, so that would be our best guess for a venue. The Oceania International Championships will be in Australia in February. The Latin American International Championships are in Brazil in April. And although the North American International Championships have not been announced yet, they're going to be in June. The reason is that if we follow the pattern, it makes sense to have a 2-month gap between April and June. And also, it's likely they're going to either be in Indiana or Ohio, because over the last several years, that's where the US National Championships have been held. That's not official, but I would say it's very likely. Now, one of the complaints that a lot of players have had of Pokemon is that they've not been announcing the tournaments fast enough. Well, I've got great news for you, ladies and gentlemen, because they have announced all of the regional championships in advance. Now, there are such things as special events. Special events are smaller versions of regional championships. They're not all announced yet. But of course, we need a little bit of wiggle room to announce some more in the future. On the screen, you can already see all of the US regional championships. And there's 2 in Canada. And you can see that they run all the way from Indiana in September and finish up in Wisconsin in June. They are spread around. There's a whole bunch around. I'm not going to read them all to you. They're on the screen, but that's where all of them are going to be. One thing you should note here is that there are a fair amount of expanded tournaments. And in fact, except for this little logjam we've got between Charlotte, North Carolina and Portland, Oregon, they actually alternate. Expanded, standard, and so on, except we have 2 standard in a row. Other than that, they alternate quite nicely. I suppose it's a good thing that they banned Forest of Giant Plants and Archeops in expanded, given that we're getting so many more expanded tournaments. In Europe, we are getting 6 regional championships, starting off this weekend in Liverpool and finishing in Sheffield in June. Only 1 expanded regional championship in Europe, but having said that, that's still 1 more than we had last year. One interesting thing to note, 3 in Germany, 2 in the UK, so it looks like there's a big focus on Germany this year. Now, the smaller tournaments are League Cups and League Challenges. They will be happening everywhere. And like I've said, special events, they're going to happen throughout the year. They will be announced as and when. But of course, we need to qualify for the World Championships. The points that you need have been revealed. Now, this year it started as 500 points in order to qualify for Worlds. And then it was adjusted, some of the payouts from tournaments were changed, Europe was lowered to 300 points, etc, etc. So this is subject to change, but I don't think it will, because obviously lessons have been learned from last year. As it stands at the moment, in the US and Canada, you need 400 championship points, which does make it a little bit easier. In Europe, you're actually going to need 250 points, which is even easier than when they were adjusted down. Now, to be fair, all the payouts were put up by 10%, and then it was at 300. So you're lowering everything by about 10%, but then you're lowering the qualification threshold by 1/6. So it is going to be easier to qualify in Europe in 2018 than it was in 2017. In the US, it's also going to be easier than it was because it's gone down 100 points, but it's not gotten easier to the extent that it has in Europe. As a side note, in the US, seniors are going to need 400, juniors need 350, and in Europe, Latin America and Oceania, everyone needs 250, even juniors and seniors. Nice. Now, in terms of the championship point payout, it's basically the same as it was last season before they got adjusted up. Remember, the championship point payouts were changed up a little bit so that more people got into Worlds. That I would doubt that was going to happen this year, although no guarantee. So, of course, you're going to be getting 500 points if you win an international championship, going down to 60 if you get the top 512. You are going to be getting 200 championship points for winning a regional, going down to 30 for top 256. For a League Cup, you're getting 50 for coming first and 13th for coming in the top 64. Although, remember that there is a best finish limit for League Cups and League Challenges. You share them, it's 2 per quarter. So you can have your 2 best League Cups or League Challenges per quarter. And League Challenge, you get 15 for winning, down to 4 for top 32. When I say down to, remember there is a kicker, so you only get points for 17 to 32 if 100 people turn up to that League Challenge. Just so we're clear, if there's a 16-person League Challenge, it doesn't mean that everybody's getting 6 points. That's how you're going to qualify. It's easier than previous years, but of course we've then got fewer regionals. They're going to be more competitive, so it's not exactly going to be a walk in the park. So, I've now shown you the points you're getting from each tournament, what you need to do to qualify, and where all of the big tournaments are. That's where the comment section comes in. Tell me which tournaments you're excited about. Tell me how you feel about these changes for the 2018 season. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy and Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio for some live action. And if you want to support the channel, you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. There are bonus pods to be gotten. Go get them. The most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.